All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Good evening, everyone. I am yours truly, Dr. Fabulous, and it feels so wonderful to be back. Yes, we're back on the block. We weren't here last Thursday because it was in preparation for the masquerade ball. So guess what, y'all? We are back, and we're coming back with a vengeance. We have some new crew on the block, and tonight I'm going to introduce, or should I say, turn it over to one of our newbies, and that's none other than Lady T. Can you hear me, Lady T? Because you're muted.
Yes, I can hear you, Mark. Dr. Fabulous, thank you so much. This is Lady T coming live from the 305.
All right, Lady T. Thank you. And I'm going to ride it right on over to Special K. Lady K is in the house tonight, boys and girls. Oh, did I say boys and girls, men and women? Whomever is here. That old educator jumped in on me for a quick hot minute. So with that being said, I'm going to roll it right on over to Special K.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Fabulous, for having me tonight. I'm calling in from the 912, Savannah, Georgia, by way of the 973, which is Jersey. And it's a pleasure to be with you guys tonight.
Last but not least, you know what? Let me tell y'all, I felt so embarrassed. We got to the masquerade ball and I'm looking for Dr. Feelgood because I had never met him, y'all. And I get there, I'm looking for a little short man to be about 5'7", 5'8". And here he busts up in here was a whole good looking, tall, 6'2" kind of brother. And I was like, oh, you Dr. Feelgood. So, you know, that was simply amazing. So tonight I'm turning it over to Dr. Feelgood himself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Feelgood here, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, the smooth as a Rolls Royce. Coming to you live from the 571 where I get things done. I want to give a quick shout out to my hometown. I got my homie Will on. I call him DJ Fresh because he's so fresh with the ones and twos. We're from the hometown of Queensbridge, New York, born and raised. So if you know Nas, you know us. I want to turn it back over to you, Dr. Fab.
Well, once again, thank you so much for coming and checking out Upscale Love for You. If this is your very first time, don't let it be your last because we are here to have a blast. So if you don't know the purpose of Upscale Love, we are formulated to entertain, educate, and facilitate self-help, self-love, in everything you want or wish to know about love, relationships, dating, and of course, marriage, and etc., etc. Upscale Love for You often uncovers hot topics like tonight, our hot topic, and sensitive issues from tales to singleton to people being parents struggling with different things and everything in between. Whether you're actually seeking directions or looking for a way to pass the time with some good old genuine conversation, we are definitely here for you. And yes, Upscale Love is here to stay. So without a further ado, we're going to get started. And you know, this is kind of a hot, touchy subject this evening, but I want everybody to be open and honest, and we gonna get on down with the get down tonight. And this is coming from, I don't know how many of you watch Tyler Perry's Sisters, But if you do, that's fine. And if you don't, that's fine too. But he has a spin-off show called Zatima. And Lady T informed me to watch it. And it was about a girlfriend and a boyfriend, well, two couples, so to speak. And the ladies on the show, they are straight, and one of the male guys is straight also. However, one of them is bisexual, and the young lady, his girlfriend, doesn't know that he's bisexual. So with that being said, the question that we are posing tonight, and if you are male, you'll change it to female. And of course, females, we're going to rectify and say with the male. If you were to be in a relationship with someone, male or female, and you all have been dating for a period of time, did not know, never was told, but all of a sudden you find out this person is bisexual, how would you feel? The floor is open to give the truth, the real deal of how you would truly feel about that. Anyone? Will, I'm gonna call on you first. Can you hear me, Will?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Now,
Well, the first word that comes to my mind is betrayed, because
okay,
you enter a relationship, you're putting yourself out there, and you expect the other person to do the same.
hmm,
So you're holding back a part of yourself, either because you're ashamed or you think that you may not be accepted.
okay, all right. Well, as I said, you're dating this individual, but you never knew, you were never informed that this person was bisexual. Millie, you have your hand up.
Yes, I agree with Will. It's betrayed. You're being betrayed, and they were being dishonest to you. I would be very upset. And sometimes though, when people have tendencies of being a certain way, the signs are there. Perception is everything, and first impression is sometimes a lasting impression. So sometimes the signs have been shown you, because I know this guy tried to talk to me, and all his signs, he was more feminine than me. And I'm like, oh no, we're not finna do this. You may not be, but I'm gonna be cautious on the other hand. So, just have to pay attention and be aware, but it is the ultimate betrayal.
Ultimate betrayal. Okay. And Kay, you got your hand up. Go ahead, Kay.
Yes, I have to agree. That definitely would be that's a deal breaker for me. That's very disloyal, but just betrayed, and I would be extremely angry and upset because you didn't give me a choice in that matter. And we have to look, beyond so much other things. I think that's everybody's right to know if someone they're dealing with, especially when you get to the intimacy part of it, is intimate with a same-sex partner. And so yeah, it would be a lot of hurt, anger, and to be truthful, hurt too. Hurt, especially, depending on how long you've been with this person. I'm sure that's a hurting feeling to be cheated on regardless, and then to find out it's with, as in a woman's case, with a male on another male. So, but yeah, that would be the ultimate deal breaker for me, because that's not my preferences. And so I would have to exit that ASAP.
Okay. I see you waving your hand, Dr. Feelgood.
Yes, it's a mixed bag, because I look at it as, yes, it is a sort of betrayal, but sometimes people don't know what they like until it happens.
Whoa.
If you've been living one way your whole life, and you don't, you never knew. For example, I'll give an example. It's not apples to apples, but apples to pears. I didn't like avocados for a long time. I tried one when I was a kid, didn't like it because it tastes like it's like the consistency is like wax. You know what I'm talking about. And I would not eat avocados to save my life until about a year ago. I was at Uncle Julio's. If y'all don't know what Uncle Julio's is, it's a chain restaurant, but they make the best guacamole in the world, and they make it fresh. So I said, why don't you try this? So I tried it, and I was like, oh, I like avocados now. And before that, you could have told me, I was like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So is that betrayal, or is that somebody makes a realization and they tell you? Now, if they like it and they don't tell you, that's betrayal.
But
because you should be open and transparent with people.
But I have
we
a
all
question.
struggle with that. In one, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you finish.
Oh, I was going to say, we all struggle with total transparency, even with our partner. It's just human nature. However, a lot of times we do things based on what we see and not what we experience. And if I found out my partner was bisexual and they just figured they was, you'd have to reevaluate how you feel about that, because you don't know. The biggest thing that when people find out, they're wondering if that person will go back to those ways. That's the fear that we all have in one way or another, that if the person did something in their past, no matter how far back, it's always going to be there. And that is what we fear most. And a lot of us won't admit it, but if you really break it down, that's what it is. Because if, everybody talks about today in dating body counts. Everybody here knows what a body count is, right?
I didn't know until the other night. Told me.
Okay. We talk about women's body counts, saying the more bodies they have, the less desirable they are to men, which is sort of true. However, in these days of women's empowerment, there's like, don't judge me by my past. My past is my past. It shouldn't be how many penises I ingested. My past is my past.
So that's where I'm confused with your statement. So you're saying that, would you compare the avocado? So are you saying that you're with someone, they as they're in the relationship, they decided to try the same sex, relationship and then say, hey, I like it? Or are you saying that you could be with someone and they may have experienced that in their past and then it
Both.
comes back up? Because my thing is, what would make them just decide, if you're with someone and if they've never been with the same sex, what would make them decide to just go that way? That's two betrayals, if you ask me. Because you cheated,
you
so
have
you
a point
figure that
now.
out.
But here's my counter. Here's my counter. Have you ever did anything on the spur of the moment? Never did it before? You said, F it, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, I have. Yes.
That's just and yes, it's a lot more. It's a choice you probably shouldn't make if you think you have to make it or not. But that's it. It does. I can't say the probability of that happening. It can happen.
Yeah, because my whole thing is, I'm like, what possess? Because normally heterosexual people would not have that desire to try that with someone of the same sex. So I'm picking your brain. Like,
look,
what would make you want to go and try that?
Right. I would never say never, because lust is a powerful
hold on. I'm gonna play devastating.
Y'all might disagree, and that's cool. But I'm just saying, this is from my observations. Lust is a powerful tool, and people do stuff that they thought they would never do, and it doesn't have to be homosexual. It doesn't have to be homosexual.
Right.
It could be, I am so lust-free that I try something.
Yeah, that's where I'm lost at, because you just said you would never say never to that. Like, whoa, what?
Yeah. So what I'm saying, and to bring it back to what I'm saying, is that, if a person has done something and left it out by omission, that's wrong. But some people don't know how to approach other people. And going back to what I was saying is that, you know, the past is only good for a certain number, because every woman heard, not all women, but many women heard of y'all all got a friend who can't keep a penis out their mouth. Y'all know somebody. If y'all don't know, if they ain't close, somebody you know. So with that being said, if that person comes back and doesn't tell that person, their significant other, that they've been with a million people, is that betrayal?
I know it may be biased, but most, well, I ain't gonna say most, but in some cases, women have thought of having a threesome. And if they've thought of it, it's probably with the woman, which is probably bisexual. But I can't speak for a man on how his intake is on it, because some women,
ain't no men bumping backs.
They may not never admit it, but in the back of their mind, they probably have thought of it if they have not acted on it.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. I agree with that.
I do
agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
They would not tell the public, but they have thought about it in their private mind, or they private time.
Wait. You're saying that men would have threesomes with other? Wait, I'm totally.
I can't speak for men. I said as a woman.
You better not speak for no men saying no shit like that. Like, yeah, I ain't
most
women. A long time. Y'all better relax. I don't know what the topic is.
And I'm gonna say this, Danny. Most men who always saying that what they won't ever do, in a lot of cases, that's what they will do.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I put it out there. I did.
Look me in my face. Look me in my face.
That's why you didn't come to the point, because I would have told you what I need to tell you.
Take them glasses off. Take them glasses off.
But you know what though? But she's speaking realistically though. She's speaking realistically versus a strong mindset that we grew up with. Like, of course, we grew up in the mindset of.
But if you want the right woman and that man is in there and he accidentally touched something, if you want that woman bad enough, you might go for it.
Okay, now let's wait.
Or
let's allow everybody the opportunity to share their thoughts by raising hands. We're gonna keep it, because I know it's a hot, touchy subject this evening, because and the part two of the question, the first part of the question was, if you're dating, and this was on the female side, if you're dating someone, or if you're married to someone, and then all of a sudden they come and tell you that they're bisexual, how would you feel? But the second part to the question is it biased for the individual difference of a female being bisexual opposed to a male being bisexual? Because as Miss Millie just said, sometimes men get a kick out of having two women. And so would you necessarily say that they are bisexual, or they're fulfilling their spouses or friends' little fantasy?
After a while, it gets messy. It's going to get messy. I personally know some males who have been in that situation. And just like you said, Dr. Fabulous, when it was first brought to them, it was an excitement, a rush, because most men want, that's their fantasy, or they're into that, thinking two women. But you got to also understand, sometimes when we say bisexual, we don't always just mean intimacy between two women. That basically means that a woman likes men and women, meaning she can have the same feelings as love, relationship wise with a woman, just beyond just a sexual relationship. And then I've heard that where she tended to go more towards the woman, and now the fun is gone. It's not even about intimacy anymore. And now the man she was with, now he's feeling some kind of way because she's gravitating. I've seen it and I've heard it. And I've even heard a situation with somebody that I know where he got physically violent with the women because of jealousy, because she was spending too much time with the other woman. So it's not always, like I said, it can start out fun for them when it comes to the, on the women's side, but a lot of times it doesn't last.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a couple of hands up Let's hear from Marlena, then we'll come to Miss Millie. And I appreciate all this interjection. And Danny, welcome back. Haven't seen you since we had communion about 3 Sundays ago. Okay. Marlena, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a story. So I actually go to one of my friends' house on Thursdays. We have game night. So she invited one of her friends over, and one of her friends that came over said that his best friend was pregnant by a bisexual man. She found out that her boyfriend wanted to be with a woman and a guy, and she was okay with it because she was having the baby. She said, long as he has sex with guys, she's okay with him coming home and it's not girls. So I was shocked by that. I didn't know what to say, but he said that he was having a hard time helping his friend through that situation.
Oh, well, that's real different.
Wait. Help me understand this.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
was about to say,
man and a
that
guy
again.
together, and the man is okay with.
No.
She's okay.
The
with her.
woman is okay. With
Woman
the
is okay
being sexual with another man, as long as he's not being sexual with another woman.
Right.
Like she'd rather for him to be with a man than to be with another woman. So that's real different. But thank you, Marlena, for sharing that story with us. And Miss Millie, coming on to you. That's some deep stuff, Danny. That's deep.
Danny. Don't rub no more of your hair off.
That's all right, because you're bald-headed already, Danny.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Piggyback off of what Miss K said. I'm gonna use my daughter as a scenario. My daughter is married to a female, and she told me that, and she have been with males before in previous. So she told me that she love who love her, she like who like her, and you got to understand. Sometimes I don't like to talk to her because it get too deep. She said, "Mama, another woman knows exactly what you like because that's what she like." Danny, put your stuff away.
If you don't stop.
So another woman know exactly what she likes. So that's why it's okay if a female feels that a man go out there and bring another woman home. In some cases, not like Marlena friend. If a man bring another woman, not her to home, but they bring another woman in, a woman is okay with it, because if that's what she like, she's gonna indulge in it well. But from what I understand from men, it's a different story if that ain't what he really like. But if he's down low, bisexual, however you want to put it, it's in him and you can't take it out of him.
All right. Well, preach on, Miss Millie, preach on. Now, I'm going to jump all the way down because, you know, when I see my girl Heather in the house, I always have to ask her. And you know what? Let me welcome everyone, because I see so many different people on the board that I've never seen before. I got some 786 numbers. I got Michael. Welcome, Bridget. Welcome, everybody. Mac Justice. Y'all bringing it on home tonight. So, but I want to talk to Heather. Heather, how you doing tonight, Heather? Can you hear me, Heather?
Yes, Heather? I can hear you. I'm here. This is uncharted territory for me. I'm just listening.
Listen, that's what I said, because I can't give you a whole lot of answers about nothing, because I don't know nothing about none of this. But Dr. Bacon can definitely listen, because, you know, listen, whatever it is what it is. So with that being said, I'm going to let Lady T, Miss Tasha, jump in and get her segment going with her thoughts and her views.
Welcome, everyone. Well, that's a hot topic, definitely. I'm married, so I don't know how I would take my husband coming home, or I finding out that he liked it from the back instead of giving it to me. I think I'm kind of neutral with that, because it's all about what you're invested in. And like Millie said, if that's something that you want to try, well, we all know when you open up the box, you know what you're going to get. So
that's that Pandora's box. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that box will get you addictive, and you just gotta have it. But I would say it depends on my situation, because if you're invested with children, a marriage for so many years, it's a lot that you have to lose. And the question I would follow up with is, well, if you do it one time, will you do it again? Because some guys just like head from a man, because a man know how to give head very well. Some, they want it from the back. So I mean, you have to define, bisexual.
Yo, what did I come in on this? I need to come back next week. What the
Right.
Danny, you listening just like me. I have a hand up from Jerome Battle. Jerome, can you hear me? Jerome,
take it off mute.
Jerome.
Taking it from the back and all this stuff. What the hell are they talking about?
Danny. That's
Danny.
Jerome, you got your hand up. Well, I'm gonna jump on down here. I haven't heard from Anson. See, Anson usually lead in with some stuff. Anson not talking too much tonight, Anson.
And I want to see your face.
Anson, if you got something to say on this topic, brother, damn what I've been missing. What's going on?
I want to see your face, Anson.
Anson,
I ain't got nothing to say about this because I have no kind of experience with this.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying because so many men have this fantasy of two women, and if, say, for example, your girlfriend and, to make it even worse, your wife, if they were to come and tell you that they were bisexual, how would you handle that?
I mean, I just feel like that's something that you should know before you get too deep into it with anyone. Like, you'll know if someone has bisexual tendencies. So that shouldn't be something new.
Tell me how you would know, because I need to know, because I don't know. How do you know that the people have bisexual tendencies, Anson? Expound
well, I can only speak from a man's perspective.
Okay, well, tell me.
If I'm going out with someone and they're doing mannish things, if they're commenting about a woman that I may comment on, then all the
time.
Right, based on what y'all saying about being quote bisexual is wanting to have a threesome with two women could be considered as bisexual. I've had women tell me that they wanted that to happen. I've actually had that happen.
It's being a lesbian. You're a lesbian.
What did you do? And what did you do when they told you that?
I bent them both over.
I'm done.
Oh,
there you go.
Anson now.
Which makes you a lesbian, just like me. That's what lesbians do. I'm a lesbian. Yeah, let's talk about that.
So in my eyes, it all boils down to what you actually do. So and what I was thinking is, if the person you with is telling you that they bisexual, that means you've been cheated on, or they were bisexual before y'all got together. So betrayal is a good word. I heard y'all say that earlier, but it all boils down to, if you're bisexual, that means you have to have sex with someone that's not me. Which is by definition cheating. So the question should be not if you're bisexual, is if you cheated on me, because that's what it all boils down to.
Okay.
The actions that you do.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Anson. I have a hand from Soci.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Can y'all see me?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. It's my first time on here, so I feel when it comes to being bisexual, if my man came to me and said that, hey baby, look, I like to backdoor men, or I like to have affection for men, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to be with him sexually. I'll be completely turned off, but I would still love him as a friend, but I just couldn't do it. But I feel like it's hypocritical for men to say that, oh, that's nasty when men do it, but when a woman do it, it's sexy, which is like, you have to pick and choose which side are you on. Either you don't like someone that's not bisexual, or you do like them. But you cannot say that, oh, I don't understand why men do it, but it's okay for women to do it because it's sexy. It's hypocritical to me.
Okay. All right. Well,
so it's like y'all on here saying, oh, well, it's so nasty when a man do it. I can't believe what I'm listening to and all of this stuff. But now y'all talking about lesbians. It's just like we throwing, potpourri up in the air like it's just so sexy to where you can't be hypocritical. You got to choose one or the other.
I did. I'm a lesbian.
But you're saying that if your woman said, hey, baby, look, I want to bring another girl to the bedroom, you'll be all up for it, right? Am I correct?
Danny, she's talking to you.
I was looking for a mute button. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so what if she said, well, baby, I want another man inside of the relationship? What if she says, I want to bring another man into the bedroom?
Baby, you going to see, I don't hate women, but listen.
But see, now you're being hypocritical.
I'm not being
hypocritical.
What
I'm saying.
We are lesbians.
You cannot say that. Wait. I'm not done talking. You cannot say that you're against bisexual people. You're just against bisexual men, and that's it.
All right, I'll let you talk. Can I talk now? I said from the beginning, we're lesbians. Lesbians. What are lesbians? That's what I said. Exactly. I ain't say nothing else about that.
But you also just said if your woman came into a room with another woman, you'll be all up for it.
Exactly. That's what lesbians do.
But if she came in with another dick into the room, be like, hey, I want you to fuck me and I want to suck his dick. You would not allow that shit.
She is not a true lesbian. She is not a true lesbian. That's exactly what I said. Lesbian.
I'm not talking about lesbians. I'm talking about bisexual people in general.
You're talking about that.
I feel like you're going against what you're feeling right now.
But if she asking for 2 men, she is not bisexual. She is heterosexual. If she's asking for 2 men, that does not make her gay. She just wants a threesome, and it's not with a woman. It's with a man. And men are not going to do that unless they are bisexual.
Okay, well,
I agree with that.
Leanne,
that's not necessarily true.
Hold up, Leanne.
It's all the way true. It's all the way true because
I'm gonna have to pump the brakes down because when you're doing a threesome with 2 men, the 2 men can have sex with the woman and not touch each other too.
Exactly.
Hold on now.
But that doesn't make
let me just say this. Take yourself out the equation. The guy I'm talking to, take yourself out the equation. So say if your woman says, you know what, baby, I have to, get my rocks off. I just want to go fuck another girl real quick. Are you okay with that? Would you be okay with that?
You asking me that?
Whoever I was just talking to, the guy I was just talking to before.
Yeah, popcorn. I'm watching.
Okay. Now, if your homeboy said, yeah, I'm married to such and such, but I'm about to go get my, my dick wet or whatever from another dude, would you be okay with that?
You said my homeboy.
Like if your homeboy said, I'm married to, he's married to somebody and he says, I just need something different.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go mess with such and such. Would you be okay with that, or would you feel uncomfortable?
I'm gonna look at him funny.
Okay, as I'm saying, so it's like you can't.
See, that's the whole thing.
I'm gonna look at him funny.
On the down low.
If a guy says he want to get with another guy,
who's on the down low?
I have no problem with that because it ain't me. That guy ain't me.
I'm not saying there's anyone on here. I'm just looking at your mind frames to where you can't say when one thing is okay, but when somebody else do it, it's not. If a female does it, it's okay. But when a man does it, it's not okay.
I think it's hard for men to grasp that what you're saying. I get what you're saying, like the logic of it, but men, it's in their nature if a heterosexual man's nature is to be attracted to women and women. So he's going to always view 2 women. He's going to view that differently than 2 men. But I see what you're saying morally. You know what I'm saying?
When I think of 2 men, because I'm a heterosexual woman. So if I think of 2 men doing it, I'm not going to lie. It's not too pleasing in my mind.
Exactly. But it's not, because we're looking at two men, but for men, they're sexual in nature. And so for them, it's women. They're not lusting over two. That's why two men, they're not going to react the same. But for two women, a heterosexual man is going to 9 times out of 10, flock to that. He's going to be okay with that, because that's what he's attracted to. That's in his nature. He's a heterosexual man that enjoys women.
Okay, I'm also a heterosexual woman. I don't like women like that. I don't even like women doing it with each other. So when I see two women doing it, it's just, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't
right,
rub me the right
because
way.
you know why? Because that's just you. It's not in you. Like, it's not in me. I'm not attracted to women in a sexual nature. So therefore, I'm not attracted to being with a woman like that.
Yeah,
So I
but
guess
to
it's the
us,
same for a guy. If he's not
to us,
attracted
to us,
to a
to us
man,
lesbians, we love that. To us lesbians, we love that. That's what you
I'll
don't
take Danny
understand.
off.
I
Now, I was
still
going to
say
ask
it's
you.
hypocritical.
I
I
was
feel
going
like
to
that's
ask you.
hypocritical.
I was going to ask you, did you go both ways? But you cleared that up, because I was like, I don't know what side you riding on. Like the way you, I don't know. I don't know.
Because I just feel like I hate when a lot of men goes against, like, especially so hard against gay people and being bisexual, and I can't believe
Nah,
black
listen.
men or men period is doing this and the other, but they're so quick to jump into bed with like 3 women who are messing with each other. So it's like, what side are you on?
The lesbian side.
That's a
I'm gonna turn my video
I gotta
off now.
disagree with that, because 10% of the population, male and female, are alternative lifestyle. So chances are everybody's got one person in their family that likes what they like. And I'm not going, with all the different genders today and gender fluid and all that stuff. So it's not as stigmatized as it was even 20 years ago. So men don't, like I said, a lot of guys that I know don't care if a man sleeps with a man. They probably just don't want to see it. You're right about that. Because two bats is one bat too many. And in that case, if the one bat ain't mine, then
I guess my
the
point
thing
is
that that stigma is fading very fast, just because of the times.
I get that. I know it's a new generation. Like I said, in my mind, I feel like we was grown with a certain mindset. So this new generation is basically promoted now. But all I'm saying is, I feel like it's just hypocritical to accept one nature or, one being of woman and then not accept it for men. I feel like it's hypocritical to me. Either you don't like it or you do like it, or you accept it or you don't accept it. And that's from both sides.
You're on mute, Dr. Fabulous.
Okay, thank you. I was saying thank you so much, So and Danny, because you can always agree to disagree. And I have a hand up from Ricky and Nikwa.
Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to touch on what Anson said about women who compliment other women. I think men don't understand that women are more comfortable with each other. Growing up, we weren't shy to get dressed in front of each other. We lay on each other's laps. We lay on each other's shoulders. Men don't do this with each other, not even as kids. It's not even suggested. Maybe between brothers, maybe, but usually not. Men as friends don't lay on each other's laps, kiss each other. I mean, certain cultures. So when we it's more easier for us. It's natural for us to see other women and compliment them. Oh, her butt is big. Oh, I like how she look. X, Y, and Z. It don't mean that we want her. It doesn't mean that we're attracted to her just because we compliment her. Also, I wanted to say, as far as men, in a threesome, men they don't have to touch each other, but they do feel each other in a threesome. That is just anatomically correct. It's just going to happen, okay? So I think what the young lady is misunderstanding, I think that where she's coming from is that men are criticized for being, or women are criticized for wanting a threesome. with a man, with two men. And men are not criticized for having a threesome with two women. But I think what she misunderstands is that there's no black and white. There's a middle. You can't force people to like something or accept something. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, your man just might not want you to be with two men. That's up to you to decide if you're going to tolerate that. You understand what I'm saying? And it's up to him to decide if he's going to tolerate having two men. It's not, oh, well, you want to, it's okay. That's what he wants. And that's up to him for you to give to him. You understand what I'm saying? You're not bound to do it just because you want two men.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving us a true explanation. And I'm going to jump down to.
I got my hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it, Anson. Go ahead, Anson.
What I want to clear up was what I meant by I didn't mean anything about women complimenting other women. I was saying what you were saying, like in a sexual manner. You know, like if a woman saying, "Oh, we should take us to the bedroom," or "Well, I like the way, her ass sit in that skirt." You know, things like that. It's not. I'm not looking at it as like, okay, compliment someone else, because I don't see nothing wrong with complimenting someone of the same sex. There's nothing bisexual about that. But if, as Miss Millie said earlier, constant comments in the sexual nature about another woman, that will be a sign of, yeah, she might have always been bisexual. I'm not saying that complimenting someone is basically she's guaranteed to be bisexual, but that constant, comments along that nature would be a clear sign. Also, I would like to say that someone thinking that they're bisexual or feeling a bisexual nature, it all boils down to what you do, which all boils down to what I always say is all about accountability. So if you choose to do something sexual with someone of the same sex, then you could be classified as bisexual because you did something that was with someone of the same sex. So it all boils down to what you do. So if your mate, you can be curious, but unless you do something, you won't be bisexual. So it all boils down to what I said earlier. If your mate is telling you that they're bisexual, if they wasn't bisexual before y'all got together, that means that your mate cheated on you. That's what it boils down to.
All right. Well, thank you, Anson. Thank you. Now, Mr. Battle, I'm ready for you. Come off mute and give me what you got, because I tried calling on you previously.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to say that I think in the world we live in the world most of us grew up in, that it is biased towards men than it is women. People are more accepting of a woman, that likes women than a man. But I also want to say that to me, I feel like there is a gray area when it comes to couples that, that like to explore with other couples or like to explore with same sex or different sex, however it go. I feel like there is a gray area that is not always black and white. And yeah, the world we live in, we just accept women being bisexual, women being lesbian more than men. Yeah, I never been in a situation where I'm a homosexual, so I'm gay. So I don't have an interest. I never been with a woman. I don't have an interest in women at all. That does not interest me not one bit. But I feel like as people, people like what they like, and we should all accept everybody, love everybody. I think love is, you know, just love. It don't matter what you like or whatever it is, just love people and love on each other. That's all I want to say.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. Is there any, I see so many new names. Is Lawrence available to give his input? How about Mac Justice? I see you, Mac. You want to share something with us? Don't get up and run now, Mac.
Running.
Now you know you wrong for that, Mac. You coming back?
Oh. Get off mute.
Take off mute so I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hey everybody, this is the first time on it. I was invited on it by someone, but on the talks and everything, you know, I like to talk about stuff, but since I'm new, I'm just listening to everybody input, and everybody's making pretty good points, so I can dig that. Can y'all hear me?
You kind of breaking up. You're a little choppy. Can you hear me?
I stay in the woods, by the way, so you know how that goes. Service.
Where are you located?
Familiar with Warrenton, Georgia?
I am.
No, but welcome anyway. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't let this be your last time. Is there anyone else that would like to share their thoughts and viewpoints before I pass it over to Dr. Feelgood?
Wait, I want to hear you. I want to hear your views. What's your experience?
I don't have a view.
Oh, come
like they
on.
say, nothing for nothing leaves nothing. And I don't know anything about this.
I miss you.
Listen,
I
the
miss
only thing I
you.
can give you, Danny, all I can give you, Danny, tonight is a smile and a because you know I don't know nothing about it. Nothing at all.
But I like what.
But how would you feel though if you had a man and he said, "Hey, baby, I cheated on you with another man"? How would you feel?
If a man came to me,
if your man said, "Hey, baby, I cheated on you with another man," how would you feel?
it wouldn't be any more us, my man, because right there, you know, I'm done with that situation. And I know people say, oh, you're so hypocritical. No, it's not hypocritical because when I'm in a relationship with a man, I expect that and I'm not sounding green, but I expect to be the only person that we're in the relationship together as one. Mm-hmm. And I can't really speak about that because I never really dated like boyfriend, girl. I've been married the majority of my life. And right now I would say I'm in a monogamous relationship. So
you lying, you couldn't even say it. You lying, you couldn't even say it.
Hush your mouth, Danny. If he was to tell me that he was bisexual, I would just give him the word goodbye and let him continue on to be bisexual.
All right. Wait a minute, but how long have you been married? Most of your life.
Most of my life.
And you're gonna get rid of everything that you've worked hard for?
He's not married now.
Oh, I'm not married any longer. My husband died about 4 years ago. So if
so
my
if you're in a
husband
relationship
had come
for
to
30,
me,
40 years, yes.
Listen. You had to know my husband, honey. He would have cussed you from the pit of hell if you even thought to tell him to think that he was with another man. So I don't even have to worry about that. But I'm just saying myself, if I was in a relationship with someone, and that's why I say people will accept certain things. And if I chose to accept that, you know, that would be what it is. But I know me, I'm not going to settle and accept such as that because apparently if that's what they're looking for, I'm not the person for them. And I'm not going to be angry with him. I'm just going to allow him to share his love with the person he wants to share his love with. It just won't be me.
Right.
That's
and as women, I think we
Okay.
deserve better. I mean, me personally, I have to be in agreement, but it's to each his own. But I'm not settling for that. I mean,
Exactly. It's too many
that's
men
what
out
divorces are
here.
for. That's not what I would want to do. You know, I mean, we don't get married to get divorced, but I mean, that's why it's in place. People divorce over lesser things than that. But like I said earlier, I think going back to that you're dealing with two different scenarios there. For one, he stepped out on you, whether it was male or female, he cheated, he committed adultery, he broke the trust in the marriage. And then for two, yes, for the same sex would make me think that your mind is like you said, you don't want me, you don't even want a woman anymore. This is what you want. So why would I try to keep someone into something that they don't want? They desire a man.
Tell him, Kay. Tell him, Kay. Now, Kay and Dr. Fab, Miss Millie, I got something to say to you, Miss Millie.
Don't say nothing to me. I want to say something.
No. You see how both of them was like, hell no, her husband from the depths from his grave.
Anyway.
Hell no. Don't you ever say it. Ever. You better look me in my eyes.
I already know what you do. Dr. Fabulous, I want to say to Mr. Battles that I commend you for being who you are, not letting nobody dictate who you are, where you want to go, and how you want to go about it. I commend you for that.
All right.
Thank you.
And that's what
Thank
I
you
say.
so much.
People love who they love. I can't shed any light and tell someone not to love someone. And it is a difference. And I have a cousin, God knows he has to know that he loves this person. And it's been a long time. My oldest child will be 30 in February. And I know they've been together for almost 30 years. So it's something when it comes to love. You can't tell a person who to love. All I'm saying is, for me, for Dr. Fabulous,
in her house,
if they were to tell me that, then I know that person is not for me because I'm not willing to share, because I'm very selfish.
Your morals.
My
I
morals,
just want to
and
make
I'm
sure y'all
very
know that I'm
selfish.
not that cousin.
Okay. Be quiet, Answer. Didn't nobody know you was my cousin.
And
So, every single week, everybody knows that we family.
Danny, for the future, I can say to you whatever I choose to say.
You just said dictate.
At the end of the day, people just need to walk in their truth. We are all adults. We're not kids. I don't think nobody under here is under 18 or maybe even 21. You got to walk in your truth, and it just will, eliminate so much confusion and heartbreak. Be who you are.
Exactly.
Just
And
be
tell a
genuinely
person
yourself.
up front.
We have to learn to be honest. Even if it hurts somebody, I'd rather walk away and say, well, at least I was honest with them than to play games and, this and that. We too old for that. And that so that's where again comes that disloyalty and that, because I'm gonna feel like we've been together all this time. You didn't just wake up one morning and decide you want to be with a man. This was something you were dealing with for a long time. That's communication. So all goes back to everything in that it takes to build the relationship. Where was the communication, that you told me, came to me and told me maybe you were having these feelings, and then we could have decided, or, well, I mean, a lot of, I just feel like, is it any different if a man, in your marriage cheated on you with a woman and had a baby outside of the marriage? Are you gonna, well, I guess it's, what everybody accepts differently.
I actually wanted to jump in on that, Kay, because I agree. Whether it's a heterosexual or a bisexual or same-sex situation, people have to be careful in regards to transparency, whether, you met them and that wasn't something that they were interested in, and somehow along the way they became interested in alternative, partners and things like that. There's too much going on where people are killing each other. Heterosexual couples are killing each other just for being cheated on, and the hurt that comes with that.
Right.
So I don't want to pinpoint just, someone being bisexual or gay, because at the same time, same sex or straight relationships go through the same things as well. And at this point, people just need to be transparent. They need to be honest with their journey whenever they have those feelings, or if there was some situation where the couple was exploring, and now that one of the people in the couple is deciding, wow, like I'm really interested in this particular person, this same sex situation. Just be transparent, because people are killing each other. I just watched the movie on Amazon Prime, now entering another letter, transgender, and it was called Secret Society. They have a second part as well. And I'm sitting here watching this like, oh my gosh, like there's a lot going on. And this discussion is important to have, because you just never know. You never know. And it's important to make people feel comfortable enough to come out with their truths. Because sometimes people are not comfortable to say that, you know what, this is what I'm interested in, for fear of judgment, for fear of being bashed, for fear of being killed. So I just want to say that.
Thank you so much, Heather. I appreciate you all the time. So is your hand still up, or you have something else to say, so?